Hello, gentles and ladymen. I am Ulan Gaming, and it has been quite a while, but we are back with the Yomi Hustle modding project. Last time was borderline a month ago, and I've gotten extremely busy since then. I still am, getting ready for a move, but I can't stay away from this game for too long. As you can see, I have a totally new animation here on the screen in front of y'all, and I have been doing quite a few things. Let me fill you in on what I have done since our last visit here, and then I will go over what we are doing in today's project. So, since we added our first attack, I have added 3 more. 2 of them are grounded attacks, and then 1 of them is an aerial. First, we have this this quick little jab. It's very akin to the pommel strike from Cowboy, and in fact I tried to basically one-for-one replicate Cowboy's frame data for the pommel strike here. The difference is that it hurts just a teensy bit more, and it also knocks people back a lot farther, so that it can't combo into itself, because as you can see, its range is a fair bit larger than that of the pommel strike. And then I added a low slash here. I'm not sure whether or not this thing is too fast or slow, but it does a good chunk of damage, and it goes forward quite a bit here. It hits on the 13th frame, which I think is pretty okay, but it's got a pretty nice smear frame that I'm pretty happy with. And then the last one that we added, so this character I have has a pretty cool combat style that I have in mind. In particular, that I want him to be a very grounded player. He fights on the ground, and that's very much so his identity. So the first aerial attack I knew had to be something that brings him down towards the earth. So you can see I added a ton of downward force. Originally I had a lot more, and you could basically just stop a super jump and go straight back down to the ground, but I found that when I did this, it actually forced him down so fast that he would hit the ground, and that he would hit the ground, and yeah, you could hit stuff off of a super jump, but if you just did a normal jump, then you would just immediately ground yourself, and you wouldn't actually have the hitbox of the attack. But we have kind of like this downwards kind of like ring the bell type thing going on here, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And there's our active frame, and just ring the bell, baby. Now, these damage numbers are not absolute. I can absolutely mess with them. This one has a pretty tight hitbox where, like, you go down, and the hitbox is directly below you, and it's not anywhere around you, so I figured, you know, it was pretty decent to... It was okay to make this one do a pretty decent chunk of damage, but if it turns out to be high, then I will, of course, fix it later. But yeah, this is what we have done since we have last visited. Alright, now as for what is on the docket today, today we are adding a little something extra, a little bit of extra flavor to our character, and that is sound effects. I am tired of just having these lame, boring, standard Yomi Hustle sound effects, and I want some better ones, so that is what we are going to be focusing on today. Now, my character is, of course, actually based on a real video game character. My character, Hoarah being based on Hoarah, also known as Godfrey the First Elden Lord in Elden Ring. So I have a little bit of of quite the sample selection when it comes to actually pursuing that. In particular, I have downloaded a fight that somebody did. Oh, let me lower the volume on this. Where they fought Godfrey in a pretty high new game without any HUD or music turned on, which means I have a pretty clean sound effects. See that right there? I can add those as sound effects right there. I have like an entire library at my disposal. I just need to transfer it from video to sound. And I'm sure there are easier ways to go about that. At first, I tried using my video editing software Blender, and I tried seeing if we could go to file format on the output here, but unfortunately all you can make is images or movies. You can't seem to take videos and take the scene out of them and just cut them into little bits of music. So after that, it was searching online for for little free programs. And here is what I found. Audio Cutter Online. Now, I'm going to put the link in the description below, and I am just experimenting right now. But basically, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be throwing Godfrey, that little fight that I mentioned earlier. And we're just going to wait for this thing to upload. Now, in the meantime, while this does that, I'm going to be showing you exactly what I want sound affected first. Go ahead. And that is this dashing uppercut here, the one where he drags his axe through the ground, causing a whole bunch of sparks to fly out. I want a dragging sound effect, and it just so happens that this attack is based on a real Godfrey attack. So let me see if I can find it here. Alright, so this right there. That's what we're going to be using. So we're gonna go back 10 seconds. This attack right there, that attack right there where he swings it across the ground. Now, Godfrey actually has an attack where he brings the axe into the ground and then drags it for a big uppercut across the ground, and that's actually what inspired the attack. But in the game of Elden Ring moves a lot slower than Yoing Hustle, and we don't have quite enough time for that to happen. So instead, we're going to be taking this much shorter looking attack here. We're going to keep in mind the time frame. So that was basically from 1 minute and 11 seconds to 1 minute and 12 seconds. Just a 1 second audio clip right there. That's what we're after. Alright, that's pretty close to what I want. You have that double ping sound. We're gonna make it happen just a little bit sooner and end just a little bit sooner. Just push it back. Yeah, right there. I think that's what I want. So we're gonna export, and then we're gonna download it. And we're going to move it into our character thing. I'm gonna make a new folder, so we'll have sprites, states, and then sound effects, just so I can keep everything under wraps, because I might use some sound effects for multiple attacks, right? Just to take a shortcut here and there. So we're gonna make a new folder, sound effects. And we're going to paste it here. And we're going to rename it Ping Ping, because that's what it is. It's a ping ping sound. We're going to go into our states here. We're going to find dashing uppercut. Now, there are several sound effects you can do here. So when we go into sound effects, we can do a sound effect for when we hit the button, as well as choosing which frame it comes in on. But if you go to Hitbox here, you can also have custom sound effects for whiffing, for hitting, and I'm not really sure what hit base means, but you can do separate sound effects for whiffing and hitting. We're not really going to be worrying about that, though, today. We are just at because I don't really care about that for this attack. The most important aspect is that we have that double ping, right? And I'm hoping it's going to sound well. If not, then I'll just make a different attack and use that for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to sound effects, and we're going to do the enter sound effect, and we're going to hit load, go into our mod file, character, Hoaraloo, sound effects, ping ping. And I'm just going to pray that that sounds good. Oh god, it's on a loop. Okay, let's see if we can change that. We'll have it come in on frame 2. Oh god, it just plays forever. What in the world? What have I done? Oh my god, I don't know how to fix this. What? It just plays forever. Excuse me? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can fix this. Alright, we are back after a little bit of investigating and asking for help on a Discord. I have discovered what our issue is. We're going to clear this. So the problem is that it's an MP3 file, and for whatever reason, MP3 files don't actually work with this, and we need to switch it to a WAV file. I'm going to call it a WAV, because that sounds fun to say. Now, so that just means we have to add another site into our thing for into our process here for file conversion. Now, if there's something that allows me to chop up audio straight into a WAV, then that's great. But I don't know where it is. I did a quick Google search, couldn't find it within 3 seconds of finding, and gave up. So if one of you guys knows how to chop video footage straight into WAV with some kind of program, then please let me know in the comments, and I will gladly update my links in the description. But here we have a file converter, and we are going to convert our ping into a WAV file. We're just going to hit convert. And download. And put it back into our sound effects folder. And now we have the WAV. So we're going to go into our Horaloo thing here and do an enter sound effects. Load, and we're going to pick the WAV this time and go into the game. Okay, there we go. Hold on. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's not my favorite sound effect in the universe, but it's a start. So now we're going to add another sound effect from the video. This one is going to be a little bit simpler, I think. So we're looking at the 1 minute, not this one. Here we go, this sound effect. Right there. Just a good old banging. Now we're going to come over here. Take our fresh download, pump it into here, turn it into a WAV. And we're going to take our low slash, which is this attack animation. And I want to add the sound effect for if it hits, specifically. And then it just won't play, because it's kind of a crashing sound effect. It doesn't work if you don't hit something, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the hitbox here, and we're going to scroll down here. So we're going to ignore the whiff sound, and we're going to go to the hit sound and load in impacts. And we're going to try it out. That seems pretty good to me. Although, it actually starts out kind of low, so I'm thinking we swap it to the input sound effect, rather than the hit sound effect. Because I just decided that I'm probably going to like that better. Yeah, that works. It doesn't play all of it, but that's fine. It doesn't need to. It plays a little bit of the whirring. That's what we want. We're gonna add that as a double and as a single. Okay, I have now added a whole bunch of sound effects to my liking, and I am now ready to see about adding some of these. So the sound effect that I have in mind for this one is I want Ring the Bell. I'm gonna jump. That's gonna sound pretty good, I think. That sounds pretty damn good if you ask me. Oh, I'm happy with that. I was gonna miss. Yeah, that sounds pretty damn good to me. Alright, that's today's video. I have entered a couple new attacks. They all have a purpose. The low slash, of course, being a fast forward-moving attack that must be blocked low instead of blocked high. The pommel strike to help you combo start when the opponent is particularly close to you, perhaps after a whiff or after a block. And then a distance closer with this one, and then a grounding attack here that also slams your opponent into the ground. That's kind of the purpose behind all of our attacks here. And all of our attacks have functions that are very specific in mind. Every attack needs to do something, which is something that I think a lot of people forget when they do these, is every attack needs to have a purpose. If your attack has no purpose, then it's not a good attack. Every attack should solve an issue or a situation, and they should go together in a reasonably good format. And, yeah. So, what's on the docket for next time? I'm going to be adding a projectile attack, and a relatively complex one as well. I'm going to be starting to delve into the specials, basically, in what I want this character to do. So in particular, there are a couple attacks that I plan on inputting here, and I'm going to show you the concept for the attacks behind them in this original video here. So, alright, so the first attack that I want to be as a projectile attack, and I'm definitely going to need some help from the community to help code this the way I want. But the plan is to have the attack function as so. This will be an attack that can be done in the air or on the ground. If done in the air, I want it to use an aerial movement. So, Godfrey throws his axe and then immediately dashes towards wherever the axe towards wherever the axe goes. So the idea would be you throw the axe, you hit somebody, and then you basically either teleport or move to them instantly in a very similar manner to the ninja's pole animation. So that's one of the projectiles that I'm going to be adding. So I'm going to be adding a throw animation where our character temporarily loses the axe, and then we'll either just teleport straight to the axe, we'll need to create the axe spinning as the projectile animation, and either teleport straight to the axe or add a animation of Godfrey flying through the air, or Hoarah flying through the air to get back to his axe and stuff and such like that. And then the other thing that I want to add is start to add is Hoarah's stomps. So this is the other big mechanic that Hoarah is kind of based around, is these stomps that he puts into the ground everywhere. And the idea is that the stomps will have a huge area of effect, but they can be avoided by jumping. However, jumping will put you into the air, and Hoarah can potentially hit you while you're in the air. It's kind of a setup piece, or something to combo into your opponents 50-50, then make them either need to jump or take the gamble that you're not going to do the stomp there. Right? So that's the kind of concept there, and for that we're probably going to do a projectile animation that spans a huge area of effects. And then add, and then I'm going to use some of the help to see if I can find the code for the code for the attack that Robot does whenever he lands on the ground and hits everybody on the ground. I kind of want that as a function as well. To be kind of how the attack functions mechanically. So anyways, that's what I have planned for the future. We're actually starting to get into this character's unique mechanics now at this point. We have a few attacks now under our belts, and it's looking pretty damn good. So let me know if you have any suggestions or for other attacks and such. I do plan on adding just one, maybe one or two of the wrestling suplex moves, stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and goodbye.
Still my heart beats again and again. I'm always searching for a love with no sense within my head. Till that day when I see that I met the most amazing demon ever yet.